Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we're going to talk about the IS-4, a tank that nobody seems to play anymore, but judging by its statistics, everyone should. For those of you that just started playing, the IS-4 is basically the first tank everyone will tell you to go for as a heavy player. And well, they are completely right, because that tank not only is easy to get because it's a tech tree tank, but most importantly, it has some perks that are just amazing. First of all, talking about the gun, beside the gun depression that is only 6 degrees, well, you want to keep everything. The accuracy is great, the penetration is great, the alpha damage is great, the reload time is great. Everything is just suitable for every new player in the game. Most importantly, the thing that makes this tank so popular, in my opinion, or that made the tank so popular back in the good old days, is obviously its armor profile. Unlike most tanks, for example, I'm gonna say an E100, a T125, a Yo, or anything like that, this one is naturally angled. You all know that there is one weakness on every single tank, which is the lower plate of the hull. And here it's so small that it becomes really hard for your enemies to aim at it, which means that, well, if they shoot at all that area right there that is naturally angled, they will bounce. Except, of course, if they are tank destroyers using gold shells. But beside that, it's impossible to get penetrated, which means that if you do a single mistake by pushing through, you will not get punished for it, making it perfect for newbies. But to understand exactly what this tank is capable of, I think that the best is probably to show you a replay and comment over it. So here we are in Port Bay with our mighty IS-4, and you're gonna see that when it comes to the playstyle, you're gonna have a lot of fun because you're supposed to brawl with it. You don't want to stay in the back, you don't want to snipe at all. You need to be that one guy that pushes the team over and over in order to push straight. So there we go, that's what we're trying to do, sneaking or trying to sneak a shot on the object 907 and taking 2 shots in the process. We lost 300 hit points, but don't worry, it's not a problem. As you can see, I'm trying straight to play aggressively and taking this position. Why? Because the IS-4 is one of the rare tanks in this game that doesn't feature any weak spots on the turret. There is no cupola, and of course when you have this kind of advantage and you take control over it, well, you can have great games. But here it seems like the enemies don't want to try anything, so instead of waiting in the back, I'm gonna push forward, trying to get revenge on that 907 and just wait for the enemies to get pushed over back in their spawn. So there we go, sneaking with adrenaline, a shot on the Kranwagen, and now you're gonna see that, well, we are kind of exposed. You see that my hull is in the open and the VK45O2B is coming. Not a problem for us. All we gotta do, as you can see, is angling a little bit. And I really want to insist on how I angled my tank right there. Did you see what I did here? In this position, artificially increasing a little bit my armor by going over that slope on the hill right there, it's impossible for the VK to penetrate me without using gold shells. And it also allows me to sneak and another one on that guy. I'm once again angling my tank to get a bounce off the VK. And as you can see, once again by angling, bang, I got bounced. And this is what makes the IS-4 extremely relevant even in nowadays battles, simply because, well, to be able to penetrate it without any experience or without any gold shells is kind of hard. And as the vast majority of players are either too broke to use gold shells or too stupid not to use them, well, you have a free highway for damage and bounces. And here, this is how you can just rush in, push, and get your team to the victory. Here, we're gonna take a look at a second replay in which I'm gonna push that tactic to the extreme. I just mentioned that the IS-4 was here to brawl and that you could literally push a whole team. This is exactly what we're gonna do. So, what are the perks to be able to play the IS-4 correctly? Because yes, as a newbie-friendly tank, you're gonna tell me that there is no tactic. And to be fair, for the majority of games, I'm gonna tell you that, yeah, it's right. But there are some games, such as the one we're seeing right there, that needs to, I don't know, to put a little bit more effort to the victory. So what are we doing now? I see that there is no one. I'm not gonna bother. I'm jumping in straight. Why am I doing that? Because by doing that, I know that my teammates are gonna follow. And this is exactly what happens. They were frightened by whatever we could see right there. They see me pushing. They see that there is no one. So after, they decide to go in. Why is it important? Because right now, we can take them from the back. Here, I got a little bit too too fast at sneaking a shot on the E50M because in the end I got shot also by the enemies. But well, as the E50M can't penetrate me or doesn't seem to know how to do it by sneaking heat shells in my tracks that are literally impenetrable thanks to its shell type, we all have to get a shot on the E50M. So there we go, we sneak and another one. He's probably gonna die before he can escape. It's even sure that he will die before, and bang, the E50M is already dead. And now the enemies are frightened because we're pushing extremely aggressively on their spawn, killing Stand-B, E50M, etc. And now I see that I need to take up my role once again, just waiting for the Stand-B to push back, and now we are doing the job. Now we're gonna push through, and in the first half minute of the game we are in their spawn, which is something you couldn't do with every single tank. For example, a chieftain wouldn't have been able to do what I just did. And now we continue, we keep pushing forward because after all, we have the power. We are in all down, we can't get penetrated except if obviously a 60 TP tries to circle. And now the chieftain is doing an amazing job because he went straight on the 60 TP to kill the guy. And now, well, it's only a matter of time before we kill them all. We played aggressively, it worked perfectly. And now as we are in all down and they don't have the gun depression necessary to punish me, I can just run around, sneak my shots and get a handful of hit points from the IS-7. And by doing this kind of tactics, and you're gonna see even that against the Foch it's going to work, we can just rush in and destroy everyone. Just take a look at that Foch completely struggling getting or trying to get some damage on me. He could have pushed me, to be honest. He could have done something, but I don't know why he decided not to. Maybe because he was scared of my armor profile, because even for a tank destroyer you still remain hard to penetrate. So there we go, the Foch is trying to go away, maybe on the chieftain that is an easier target to penetrate, not a problem. Switching an HE, bang, punishing the Foch for his mistakes. Now we're pushing through because now we know it's time. It's time because we have 420 alpha damage, that is completely enough to sneak a shot on the Foch, but also because we had to escape from the IS-7. Once again, our great penetration, switching to gold shell to be sure to kill the IS-7. We kill him in no time, and by what we did, we allowed our team to take the victory just because we played kind of recklessly. This is what you're supposed to do with the IS-4, and as you can see, it's an extremely stimulating gameplay. You don't have to wait in the back. You're not team dependent, you don't need to peekaboo or anything like that, you can just brawl. So if you are a new player, trust me, the IS-4 is a tank made for you. That thing is just a great piece of engineering, and I bless every day the Russians for giving us this thing. So well, tell me in the comments, what do you think about this tank? Do you think it's a good one, a bad one? Do you enjoy it? Do you know how to play it? And most importantly, do you think it still fits the current meta? In my opinion, it's still one of the kings at tier 10, especially among the heavies, but you could have a different opinion. So feel free to tell me. And personally, I'm going to see you soon for a new video. Bye.